All right, guys, so today we're going to talk about Sony's new ULT Wear noise canceling wireless headphones. Now, I'm just assuming at this point that the ULT lineup that they have is kind of replacing the extra bass lineup that they used to have, because they have speakers, they have headphones, I think they're going to have earbuds. There's all different kind of ULT products coming out, and ULT is short for ultimate, and it actually even says somewhere in their marketing like ultimate vibe. So these are meant to be bass heavy products. Now, the ULT Wear is an over-the-ear noise canceling pair of headphones. They do come in at $199, so it's actually $50 cheaper than the XB910N, which is the pair that I think this pair is replacing. So from a value standpoint, that's already something pretty positive to look at, but we need to see if it's still worth the $200 price tag. Now, it does come in 3 different colors. It has an off-white version, which is the one that I have here. There's a black model, and then on Best Buy, I actually have seen that they have a green model, which I actually like the look of these, but I went with the off-white model here. It does support LDAC playback, which I find to be interesting because it's nowhere on the packaging. You don't see any kind of high-res label on it, but in my Android settings, I can clearly see that LDAC is turned on and that it's working. But inside the box, it comes with a pretty nice hard case. It also comes with a 3.5mm connection, so you can use these wired, and it comes with a USB-A to USB-C cable to be able to charge these. Now, the headphones themselves are really light, and at times it actually feels kind of cheap. It is plasticky. It doesn't have any kind of weight to it, which is a plus if you're gonna wear these for, running or jogging. It's not gonna put any weight on the top of your head. So this pair doesn't require a whole lot of padding on the top, which it doesn't have. And same thing with the ear pads. The ear pads are soft enough, but it's not like XM4 or XM5 soft like the other Sony premium headphones out there. So I would have liked to have seen them go with the same ear pads that are on the XM5s. These, in my opinion, although they're soft, they do have a little bit more stiffness to them, and they don't have that memory foam feel, which I have definitely gotten used to having in other headphones. But the headphones do fold in, and they also swivel, so there's plenty of ways to condense these down to fit in a bag. Again, to be able to fit them in the headphone case, you do have to kind of swivel and fold them only a certain way, but it shows the layout within the case. It's something Sony, again, has done with their other headphones. Now, these also work with Sony's app, and I still stand by this. I do think that Sony has one of the best apps out there when it comes to their earbuds and their headphones. This is how you keep these updated. This is how you get it to take advantage of the 360 reality audio or whatever that they have. Again, to me, this is gimmicky. This is only something that I find beneficial, like spatial audio on movies and TV shows. I just think with music, it doesn't work. I am not a huge fan of it, but that's, again, just personal preference. It does have adaptive noise canceling, so it will just switch the noise canceling based off the environment that you're in. That is also nice. There are some different EQ options, which is extremely important in this pair, which we'll talk about once we get to the sound. This pair also supports Spotify Tap, which you would activate within the app, and it also has multi-point connection, so you can connect to more than one device at a time. It just, again, makes it kind of easy if you're connected to a tablet or a laptop watching a movie. Someone calls in, and you could just switch without having to go into all kind of settings to actually go to the other device. Now, let's move over to talking about the noise canceling and the ambient mode that this pair has. I feel like the noise canceling is actually pretty impressive. I wouldn't necessarily put it up there with the XM4 or the XM5 because it doesn't block out people talking as well, but everything else, I feel like it's pretty on par with Sony's higher tier models. And I was not expecting that because of the price tag. These are much lower than Sony's other noise canceling headphones, so I really kind of expected these to be much lower on the noise canceling level compared to those, and it's really not that far off. And the transparency mode on these does a very good job of being able to hear your surroundings. It sounds really natural, so if you're going to be out using these and you need to hear your surroundings, this pair definitely does that extremely well. Now, speaking of noise canceling and all of that, this does affect your battery life, and the battery life on these are just okay, but again, it's actually in line with Sony's other noise canceling headphones. If you use these with the noise canceling off, you can get about 50 hours on a single charge. But if you use them with the noise canceling on, it is going to drop the battery life down to 30 hours. But this pair does have a fast charge feature, so if you do happen to pick the headphones up and there's no battery life, on a 3-minute charge, you can get 90 minutes worth of battery life. So, that's definitely good if you're going to go for a run, or you're going to go, cycling, or you're going to go to the gym and you need battery life real quick. A 3-minute charge giving you 90 minutes is definitely going to benefit you. Now, as far as the controls and everything on these, all of the inputs, as far as the 3.5mm normal headphone jack input and your USB-C input, all of that's located on the left. Same thing with your actual physical buttons. You have a noise canceling and ambient button, and you also have your on and off, and you have the alt button. This is how you switch between the different sound modes that these have, and that is all of your actual physical buttons. Now, the way you control everything else, like your play, your pause, skipping your tracks forward, going backwards, and your volume control, all of that is done with swipe gestures, which is located on the right ear cup. And I like this, that they separated the swipe gestures from the physical button. So if you're reaching for a physical button, you don't accidentally tap that touch surface and have it pause your music, or accidentally turn the volume up, or skip your tracks forward. Again, I like that they separated this, and I do like that they give you control over everything right out of the box. Now let's go ahead and move over to the sound. And this one's a little bit tricky to talk about, because out of the box, when I just put them straight on my head and just started listening to music, I wasn't very impressed. I don't like the way that these are tuned out of the box. And that's even with switching into the different alt modes that they have. There's basically an alt 1 and an alt 2. Now, alt 1 focuses on sub bass only. It's trying to bring that out a little bit more and give you that subwoofer type feel, where alt 2 is kind of giving you an overall boost. It's trying to boost the treble, it's trying to boost the bass, and just trying to amplify your music altogether. And the way that I found to really enjoy this is I needed to go into the app and go into EQ settings and kind of adjust things to counteract turning the alt modes on. And I think I finally found like the perfect balance for me. I like a very bright treble. I like a really thick, punchy bass, as long as it doesn't affect everything else. And I feel like out of the box, the sound definitely was affected by bass. I felt like it was a little too warm, a little too kind of congested at times. It just didn't fit a sound signature that I liked with previous Sony headphones. So I kind of had to boost the treble quite a bit and boost the mids and kind of tone the bass down to let the alt mode just kind of bring bass out on its own. And it definitely can find a sweet spot that way. They also give you the clear bass sliding feature, and I found right around 8, I think, was the sweet spot. Again, I'll show you right here on the screen my settings so that I can tell you my experience with the sound. I think once you tune everything in, you can have a really thick, punchy subwoofer type bass and a really bright, clean, detailed treble. And you can have it where mids definitely can still stand out amongst that really thick bass. So you can get these to sound very, very good for a bass-heavy pair of headphones. Where I feel like some of the issues with this headphone for me was most people aren't going to go in and do all that tuning. They expect to just take them out of the box and they're going to sound a certain way. And these really just don't do that. And because they're a bass-heavy pair, the sound stage and the sound imaging on this pair isn't very open. It still does a really good job of being able to tell where sounds are coming from, but at most times it really kind of left me feeling like I was in a small to maybe medium-sized room. This, again, is just not a very open pair of headphones, which really shouldn't be expected. I mean, it has noise canceling, which already kind of closes you in and isolates you some. And with that thick, punchy bass, you know, you're not going to expect these to have this very big, breathable sound to them. So know what you're going into. And I think overall, this is a really good product from Sony, but it's kind of going at a niche market. Obviously, if you're looking for a flatter reference style sound, this is not the pair for that. But if you're looking for a pair that has really good noise canceling and really good sound that you're gonna have to tweak a little bit to kind of pull the most out of it. That's what makes this an enticing pair, especially because these are $200 and not $350 or $400 like some of the other noise canceling headphones out there. But with this being a Sony pair of headphones, I do see these probably going down to $150 on sale quite a bit. I don't know that yet. They're too new. I haven't seen them go on sale yet, but all Sony headphones usually kind of hit a sale price at some point, and it's usually pretty significant. So I can see these being at $150, and I think at $150, it's very, very appealing. But guys, that's my video on the brand new Sony ULT Wear active noise canceling headphones. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Thank you so much for checking out all the other videos. And as always, make sure to stay tuned for more.